and we are going to be discussing whether the honeymoon period is over for Frank Lampard and Chelsea. And before we start, I just want to begin with this. Bo, in the last 4 Premier League matches, Chelsea have 3 losses. They lost to West Ham, they lost to Everton, and now they just lost to Bournemouth. This is all super concerning. Is it over, the honeymoon period for Frank Lampard?
Well, all honeymoons end at some point. There's no such thing as a forever lasting honeymoon. And yes, the honeymoon period is over, but the marriage is not. Now let me get into what I mean by that. Frank Lampard and Chelsea is a match made in heaven. This manager and this team have so much passion for each other. The fans of Chelsea Football Club as a whole, love Frank Lampard.
Agreed.
And Frank Lampard loves this club back equally as much. Now, yes, they've experienced a run of bad form. They've lost 3 of the last 4 Premier League games. However, qualified for the round of 16 in the Champions League, which cannot go unnoticed. For a team filled with so much youth, with the likes of Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, Fikayo Tomori.
I think you miss Christian Pulisic as well.
Christian Pulisic as well. Yes. Thank you. With a team filled with youth, for them to make the round of the 16 of the Champions League, for them to be top 4 contenders, is exceptional. And before the season, if you were to ask a Chelsea fan at this moment in time, if they had made the Champions League round of 16, if they were in the top 4 of the Premier League, he would have taken it. Anyone would have taken it, because no one expected this from this Chelsea team. With such a young manager, with such a young team, they had such low expectations. And yes, the honeymoon period is over in the sense that they're hitting a bit of bad form, which is, for Chelsea this season, hasn't really happened yet. But the marriage is not. And this marriage will continue to last, as all marriages should, for a very long time, because this Chelsea team is not going anywhere. They are only going up, they are only progressing, and this bad bit of form is only it's a step down for 2 steps up.
Okay. I agree with most everything you said there. I agree that the honeymoon period is over, and I agree he's not in any danger of getting sacked. When you say the marriage is still
no,
still on.
I didn't mean in any danger of getting sacked. I mean like he's going to go on to become.
Yeah, you're saying he's not in danger, and I totally agree with that assessment. Here's where I differ. I think now that Frank Lampard is Chelsea's form has dropped, I think Frank Lampard is going to be criticized more openly by Chelsea fans. I think if they continue to lose some of the matches that they have, I think that they will say, "Hey, what's going on here, Frank? Like, what was that decision to start him, or why did you make the substitution?" I think he'll be criticized more by Chelsea fans now, because it's been a little bit of time and we're starting to see a decline in form. Every manager goes through this. I think it'll be a testament to how good Frank Lampard is. We'll finally find out how good he is as a manager if Chelsea can rise above this. And I'm not sure that this season they will be able to. I feel like they could drop out of the top 4.
I think so too. And I think they've got a team chasing them in Tottenham that have a proven winner at the helm, and I think they could potentially drop out of top 4. I think you could say the same for Leicester, but I think Leicester are a little stronger than Chelsea at this current point in time. However, going back to what you said about the fans getting on Frank Lampard's back, I don't think that's going to happen, because you're forgetting it's not Maurizio Sarri. It's not a bloke from Italy who was a banker 30 years ago. It's not Conte, who's another bloke from Italy. It's Frank Lampard, a Chelsea legend.
Chelsea is one of the most impatient fan bases, though.
They are. With other managers. I was about to say foreign managers. With other managers. But this is one of their own. This is a guy who loves Chelsea just as much as the fans do, and the fans know it. And that's why this is a match made in heaven. Because you're right, Chelsea fans are notorious for their impatience with football managers. We saw it last year with Sarri. They were booing him. They won the freaking Europa League and came top 4 in the Premier League. Like, Sarri did a good job at Chelsea, results-wise. And they were still booing him. But Frank Lampard, this is different because they love him. They adore him.
I think, though, at the end of the day with Chelsea fans, it's going to come down to results, right? And I know this is going to last for a little longer, this love and affection around Lampard, but if they drop another couple points, I wouldn't be surprised in the coming weeks if we start to hear just rumblings of criticism about Frank Lampard and some of the managerial decisions he's made. Or can he really help this youth get to their potential, reach their potential? I think we'll start to hear that.
I think a lot of what Chelsea's future will be defined by is the January transfer window, because obviously they had the ban uplifted, and the transfer ban was a blessing in disguise. There's no doubt about it. Now, let's see what Chelsea do with the amount of money they have in the January transfer window. If they go out and spend big on some big name players, now that will bring a lot of pressure to Frank Lampard. And I believe Frank Lampard, if he has any say, would be saying, no, buy me a backup striker, buy me a backup fullback, maybe get me a center half, but that's it. Let me build this team, because this team has shown how good they can be.
Let me ask you this, right? Say Chelsea say they get knocked out in the round of 16, and say they don't finish top 4 in the Premier League. Next season, what kind of pressure will be put on Lampard, and what kind of expectations will be put on him?
Well, that's next season. So obviously, if that happens, a lot of what the next season will be defined by, again, is a transfer window. How Chelsea choose to spend their money, what type of players they bring in. If they finish outside of the top 4, do not retain a Champions League spot, then there's definitely going to be pressure the following season for Frank Lampard to get top 4. But let me ask you this: what if he gets top 4 this season and then next season doesn't? That's even more pressure. And so it's almost as if it's kind of I can use the symbol of how they started the season. They started the season so promising, and that expectations rose. Now they're suffering a bit of a drop in form, and people are like, "Hold on, what's happening with Chelsea? This is what Chelsea were supposed to be before the season even began. This is what people thought Chelsea were gonna be: a team losing to the likes of Bournemouth to West Ham, a team inconsistent." And so, if Chelsea don't retain top 4 this season, I don't believe it's that much of a problem, because then they can only build off of it. Whereas if they retain top 4 this season and then next year don't do as much, then it's kind of like, well, it's Frank's fault.
Yeah.
And I just think Chelsea's it's a process, and you have to trust the process. And I think it's gonna work out in the end. I think magical Frankie Lampard is gonna bring one home for the Chelsea fans eventually in the future.
There you have it, folks. The honeymoon period is over for Chelsea, but the marriage is strong and will be long lasting.
He's using my metaphors now, isn't it?
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Go subscribe to Bo on Feekins Football. His channel is great. Second best soccer YouTuber after myself. Anyways, thank you and take it easy. Peace.